Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. Let me talk to you. Another week and another Hollywood disaster. And this week, it's 2024's The Crow, a movie that no one wanted and a movie that no one needed. So, why on earth did they do this? They want to talk this as not being a remake, but for all intents purposes, this is a Crow remake. I don't understand why people in Hollywood try to use this smoke and mirrors tactic to, I guess, not sway the audience when it comes to the comparison between the original and the nonsense that they just brought out. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, it's going to be compared. Just as simple as that. So let's start from the beginning. The film itself, the tone just felt very just depressing, boring. And watching this movie, it felt tedious. To get through this movie from the beginning and the end, it felt tedious to watch. The opening scene of this film made no sense to the rest of the film. It shows something that I would think as to be a nightmare. But even now, after watching the film, I don't know if it was real or if it was in Eric's imagination or it was Eric's dream. At no point in the film was this explained further. So the opening of the film already lost me. Continuing on, I decided to continue to give it a shot because I had to pay for this. I went to the movies and I spent my hard-earned money. So I wanted to stick this through. And still, coming out on the other side of this, I don't know. I really don't know. But the tone of the film was completely off. The pacing was so bad. There was probably about the first 20 minutes of the film that just felt like a slog. And it picked up after essentially the death of Eric for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then you got the back and forth between the purgatory realm and the living realm. And it just felt so slow, so slow. There was not really anything engaging that helped me be more captivated with this story. And again, it was heavily compared to the first one. And the first one, the pacing, the character itself, just what drove the character throughout the film was considerably better. And this character in this film, this Eric, which they don't want to say this is Eric Draven, it is. Let's be real here. It's a remake. So the Eric Draven in the original film had a lot more depth and substance to his characters. This guy was just mental. That's the best way I can describe it. He was mentally unstable and nothing redeeming about his character made any sense. The young lady who played the female protagonist in the film made no sense either. Why do we have to continue this? Why do we have to continue this? Let again these films that we got in the past that are great, that are cult classics, let them stay. Let them be what they are. If I wanted to watch a good Crow film, I would watch the original, and which that's what I did before watching this one. I went and watched the first one again just to have a little bit more context. Again, this movie was trash. So bad. But moving on, the story picked up a bit once, like I said, they had their death scene between him and the girl. So it picked up with a little bit of the action, a little bit of the story. Hell, the bad guy in the film, we know nothing about. There was some exposition dump on his character backstory that wasn't even very put together. And it happened in such a quick fashion, a rapid fashion in the film that I barely remember what it was, other than the fact that he made a deal with the devil. That's it. Don't know anything about him, don't know anything about his past, don't know why he made the deal. But he did. And he has the power to corrupt a soul. That right there is one of the things that they took away from the film with more of the supernatural. The point of the first one is that it was regular people who killed this regular guy who got these supernatural abilities that no one else had. in order to avenge the death of him and his girlfriend. And in this remake, for some god awful reason, they wanted to add that other layer of the supernatural, but they did nothing with it. They absolutely did nothing with it. It was trash. So bad. The story, simple, basic, no substance, no depth. We've seen that story type, that story arc done over and over and over again. And this film just completely does nothing with that story type at all. And then you get more into act 3 and 4 where the action really picked up. And okay, I was like, it's decent action. It was nothing groundbreaking. You know, he tanked a lot of shots, killed a lot of people, a lot of blood and guts, just a bunch of violence. And I was like, okay, it's not bad, but there was not anything extra tied to that. At the end, he got his revenge, sent the bad guy to hell. And I know I said that I wasn't going to try to do this as a spoiler review, but let's be real. Nobody wants to see this crappy ass movie. So do yourselves a favor. Don't bother because it was bad. Go watch the original film. It's a much better film through and through. But towards the end, he defeated the bad guy and he essentially is now walking the earth in this perpetual state of the crowness or whatever the hell you want to call it. But just everything was wrong with this film. We didn't need it. The characters were very bland. There wasn't any depth to the characters, really. There wasn't any depth to the villain. The things that surrounded the villain, you know, his basic entourage that he had, there was nothing in depth about them. Then there's this young lady, maybe his daughter, I don't know. It was never explained. She was a pianist or some type of musician that he took a liking to, but nothing ever came from it. There was nothing ever explained about it. There was nothing to tie her to him and anything to the story. It was just wasted. God, this movie was so bad all the way through. But do yourselves a favor. Just go watch the original. It was bad completely all the way through. But that's it for the video, guys. My name's Lincoln. This has been an RPG show. If you saw the Crow 2024 version, let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. But until next time, guys, like, comment, sub, and I'm out. Peace.